here in Orlando to see what happens.
And if you just happen to be tuning in right now, you are in for a treat, because the team in the near court of Johns and Waters, they're individually the two best players in the entire sport. And Catherine and Riley, they're a good team, though, as you mentioned. So we'll see how this thing plays out. The side out to get it started.
Second serve.
And moves right away to the second serve here.
Yeah, let's check the scoreboard.
0-0-2.
Hope the video board seems to be fine. That thing was pelted.
Yeah, Ben hit a shot so hard in the men's doubles earlier this morning that Riley Newman picked up the ball and took it over and said, yeah, I think we need a new ball.
Yes. Again, a ball just trickling over. There's no angle to bring that up and over. Leigh is there, but can't execute it.
That was a good idea by Riley, but he hits it a little bit long.
Just a little off balance, just a little more roll on that. Saw the opening.
And Leigh comes in with the backhand to finish it off.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the Riley Newman style of mixed doubles is most guys would never want to play on the right side in mixed. He has that ridiculous two-handed backhand, so they're very comfortable in this formation.
Ben into the net.
1-1-2. Point.
And then Riley unable to get it to clear. So a lead here for Johns and Waters for the first time.
2-1-2. Side out.
Ben, a little bit too much on that one.
Yeah, so you don't get, usually when there's four righties on the court, heads up men on half and women heads up on half, but this is the way Riley and his sister Lindsay have won a ton of mixed doubles this way as well.
Second serve.
Out of bounds, move to the second serve.
1-2-2.
Seems like Riley is so good at adapting to whoever he's playing with, Dave.
Side out.
Absolutely, and his game style enables you to do that. He can play insane defense, as we've seen, running down things with his left hand, hitting left-handed overheads. Can be the alpha on either side, but in this case, he's going to want to sit here and let Catherine just sit on her forehand. So Catherine will just slide to the sideline and sit on the forehand, and he will take over in the middle is the hope.
Well, Catherine tried to take advantage of Ben being on that right side, and she hits it wide.
Yeah, and that's the pressure of movement. Again, it just makes you try to do a little too much.
Riley perfect on that exchange. Move it to 4-1-2.
Yeah, Leigh may be having a little meeting with Ben about the height of his drive.
Riley unable to catch up to that one.
And that's the difference that Leigh brings to this team. Ben can fire at Riley, and Leigh can go up there and go head-to-head with Riley Newman and win those battles. She's that good.
Off the net, Leigh. And then Ben finishes it off. I love that Leigh. There was nothing finesse about her when she caught up to that one on the net.
No, full blunt force trauma, and then Ben finishes down the middle. Even saw the lefty overhead there from Newman. Maybe not necessary.
And right now, this lead has ballooned to 7-1. One more, and you got to think Newman and Parenteau might have to take a timeout. Did that catch the line? Side out, just long.
But the great footwork and movement of Leigh, she's looking for it, just didn't get the paddle. You got to have that on top of the ball, not sliding below it.
Second serve.
Leigh might have induced that by faking like she was going to set up for an Ernie. Catherine hits it into the net.
Yeah, and the Ernie isn't just so I can hit the ball, it's so I can get a ball hit to Ben's forehand or make a mistake because you see the movement. So Ernies that look like they're failed are actually not failed because they're doing something else to your opponent or to the point construction.
Second serve.
Riley with a quick return there to get to the second serve here.
Side out.
Ben into the tape.
1-7-1. Point. Two, 7-1. Point.
A little bit long. 2 straight points now for
3-7-1.
Newman and Parenteau. Make it 3 straight points. And suddenly it's just 4-7. Ben, oh my goodness, how good was that, Ernie?
Beautiful read, and then while the angle looks so impressive, it's the smart ball because he left plenty of margin. That ball was nowhere near the sideline. There's no way that the fleet-footed Riley Newman or Catherine Parenteau is getting near that. Just smart from the get-go. But then another error in this set, so there have been 3 freebies.
They've rolled off 4 straight points.
Side out.
And now Ben and Leigh will finally get the serve back.
7-5-1. Second serve.
Move to 7-5-2.
7-5-2.
Good decision by Ben to let it go. And they finally get that 8th point.
Yeah, a lot of extra left-handedness here from Riley as he didn't know where the ball was going, turns around and it's on him. That's why he had to go there.
Leigh cross court, Ben down the middle.
That's a great job of Leigh Waters. Usually you hear keeping the guy honest because you're putting it behind him because he's in front of you. In this case, you have to roll it cross court to do that, and that's a really smart shot by Waters.
Newman finally able to force the side out.
5-9-1.
Ben with the backhand. He's got all the tools in the box.
Yeah, and he can take that anywhere. So he knows Newman's going to cheat into the middle. Rolls it beautifully down the line.
And an empty service opportunity gets it right back over to Johns and Waters.
Point.
And we've got game point.
Yep, and that's the danger of a short return when you're changing sides. You got to go running over there and handle a Ben Johns drive. Sometimes difficult to do.
Johns and Waters trade sides of the court. And Leigh attacks Riley and ends up winning the exchange. How about that?
Hey, Ben.
It's just such a great venue, not just for tennis anymore, though.
No, it's great to see tennis and pickleball all together this weekend and see them packed all the way around the court.
And in fact, this entire area of Orlando, not an area that I really was all that familiar with, like Nona, is so much to do over here. I've really enjoyed my week out here, mostly at the court, but the time off the court's been really fantastic as well. And a side out to get this thing started.
I'm a former resident of this great city, and my first daughter,
001.
Gabby, who's watching, was born at Arnold Palmer Hospital for Women and Children, downtown Orlando.
That's fantastic. I'm a former resident of Florida, but not Orlando. And how about Anna-Leigh Waters? She's a Florida resident. She's right at home with that Ernie.
Yeah, and that's the difference. You know, you talk about, man, that score seemed lopsided. Well, she's got the movement. She will run and gun at Riley. She's not scared of anything.
And she gets out of the way there. That's a skill set in and of itself.
So that's why this team is so deadly and so tough to beat.
They had a great charity event here earlier this week, Dave. They Bros versus Pros with the Gronk brothers. Rob Gronkowski and his other brothers were all here playing in a Pro-Am, and Danny Duncan, the YouTube sensation, was here as well. And just a fun night all around. And I had a chance to talk to Colin Johns a little bit about Anna-Leigh, and I said, you know, listen, if she was to insert herself into the men's draw in a fantasy world, if that were to happen, he goes, oh, she's top 10. I mean, that's how good she is. Ben Johns, though, is the #1 men's player in the world, and he shows why right there.
Yeah, it's fun to call a little bit of that on our streaming side. Rob Gronkowski and Ryan Sherry were down 12-1 in a game to 15 and won it, so maybe that's good news for Ryan Sherry, who's up next in singles.
Anna-Leigh tries to go play the angle, but puts it into the net.
And what's scary is that's the absolute right move, and she went for finesse instead of power. She could have drilled that into the opening, but wanted the highlight reel. Phil came up short.
Point. 1-4-1.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was an unusual little sequence there, but obviously
Called
out.
Yep.
Second serve.
Newman couldn't catch up to that one. Ryan Sherry should be a whole lot of fun to watch him take center court.
Best interview in pickleball.
No doubt. He's not afraid to say anything. He's full of confidence. And that Anna-Leigh is saying, did you see that is in? They could challenge. Maybe that did catch a little line. I thought live that it was out. And they called it out. They're going to play on.
If you're not staring right down the line with the camera, it's...
The challenge of the out call.
Maybe they're not going to...
Okay, they are going to
play
challenge.
on. They are going to challenge. So, Anna-Leigh and Ben use the timeout, and Howard Hepworth, our lead referee, along with Patricia Daly, our second referee, Onisha Smith, our tracking referee. They'll get on with AP
right there, man. Tight huddle, making sure they get that call right. We thought it looked wide from our vantage point. We'll see if the call stands.
The challenge is lost and a timeout is charged to Waters and Johns. We'll resume play at 2-4-2. You have 1 timeout remaining. You have 2 timeouts remaining.
Give it a post video review.
So there you go. It's a lost challenge and a lost timeout.
2-4-2.
Catherine unable to catch up with that one.
And again, just the placement of the attack. She's digging. She's got her paddle down on the left side of her body. You go to the right side of her body. You can't use that same approach to reset the ball. Smart play by Ben.
Anna-Leigh misses deep. So Ben will take over.
4-2-2.
And Ben flicks the wrist, paints that back portion of the court.
Of course, we can see Riley playing on the left side of the court now, too, so trying something a little different.
Riley hits the return long.
6-2-2.
Ben unable to keep that one in bounds, so the side out. But the point percentage on the serves so far in this match for Waters and Johns has been impressive. They got their 11 points on 20 serves in game 1. And so far 6 points on 10 serves here in game 2.
If you're batting over 50%, that's insane.
Second serve.
Riley into the tape.
2-6-2.
Here's what frustration looks like close up.
Point.
Ben gets another point for Parenteau and Newman on the board.
3-6-2.
Yeah, nice little flick to keep Johns honest in front of her by Parenteau. So now that's her shot with Riley on the left.
Ben goes for an Ernie. Great defense on that baseline. Riley, really smart decision. Not much Leigh could do about that.
No, just took a little disguise, had the paddle up like he was going to kill it, and then just dropped it over. Very smart.
Point.
And that is just wide. Ben thought maybe it caught the line, but back to just a 1-point game now. Oh, Ben right down the middle with the backhand.
Yeah, Ben's not overcommitting there. You see, he just slid a couple steps when he saw the ball flight. That's not a spot Parenteau's going to want to go off that ball in that positioning. But a nice run with the side change.
Nice work by Parenteau there. Hit a couple of shots from standing out of bounds and then into the net.
6-5-2.
Characteristic mistake on that ball from Waters.
Side out.
Side out, gets it back over to Riley and Catherine. Chance to draw it even here.
Second serve.
There's no doubt this game is a must-win for Riley and Catherine. The likelihood of them rolling off 3 in a row here.
Against this opponent, I can't imagine. So this is go time.
Side out.
A big side out, though, forced by Leigh and Ben. They don't give up a single point there.
6-5-1. Second serve.
They've now gone 5 straight serves without scoring a point.
Yeah,
so that percentage
impressive
dropping a little.
percentage is going down, Dave.
Side out.
Make it 6 straight.
And they've had opportunities, made mistakes that hasn't even been winners.
Well-placed shot by Leigh.
After total miscommunication. Like, who's taking this? And then Leigh just sort of slides like a half-speed topspin ball that no one, including herself, was expecting.
They're so talented, they can overcome so many things. But how about the scoreboard right now? Back to even. Newman and Parenteau have not led in this game. And they will not take the lead there.
Yeah, but I like the switch over Riley Newman playing the left. The points are different. You don't have Leigh Waters just coming at Catherine in front of her.
And Leigh goes at Riley that time and gets a lead back.
So now the poach is different because she's coming across and then wanting to hit at Catherine in front of her. So great job by Leigh Waters on that exchange.
Oh, the power by Leigh right there.
I see your stinking percentage, Benz.
They put 2 straight now on the board. Make it 3 straight. Riley and Catherine still have both timeouts available. They didn't use a timeout in game 1 either.
No, not heavy timeout users. They're usually paired with people that call timeout, and 2 missed returns, and that's the danger of the switch, because you know you're in a hurry with the huge drives on the other side of the court, and it creates mistakes.
Second serve.
Newman able to get it at least to a second game point.
10-6-2.
Friendly roll there for Leigh.
Side out.
She had Riley on the left side of the court, wanted to exploit that and couldn't.
It's a really tough ball for a two-handed backhand to hit inside out and not hit it too far or too wide, so she tried to cut it short and left it in the net.
Point.
So Newman and Parenteau still hanging on here at 7-10.
Second serve.
Move to 7-10-2.
7-10-2.
Ben just long.
You're good.
And that'll move it to
8-10-2.
8-10. That one is not long, however.
That's a tremendous roll. Again, that ping pong backhand serving him well here. Get that roll on it that the ping pong players bring to pickleball. He's got a well-rounded game, obviously, and here's another game point.
Game point number 3 to be exact.
Newman willpower.
Oh, Ben, an unforced error. So game point number 4.
10-8-2.
This would be a big side out if Newman and Parenteau could get it back. They're only trailing by 2. But they will not get it back. Game 2 goes to Waters and Johns, 11-8. And Ben and Leigh are 1 game away from claiming their 2nd gold medal of this championship Sunday.
Game of athletic tricks as well, and that's why she moves so well.
Side out.
She very wisely has put her attention solely onto pickleball at this point. Still doing other things recreationally, of course.
But she is 15 after all. It's hard to remember that sometimes.
She acts way mature beyond her years, by the way. Ben painting it down in the corner.
Yeah, just sneaks in there and then holds that paddle face in the same position where you think he's going to crack it at Catherine, and just tilts the paddle head back a step and puts it inside out. Gorgeous shot.
Ben just exerting his will right there.
Our poor video board. What did it do to Ben?
0-0-1.
I don't know if it happened, but I did hear some rumblings that Ben was very interested in hooking up a gaming console to that video board and getting in some gaming in his downtime.
0-0-2.
That's what that is, a series of screens all tied together. You could do it.
0-0-1.
We're hearing rumors from our production team that may have already happened. Not necessarily with Ben, but with some others associated with the tour. Oh, Riley sticks to it and finishes it off.
So difficult not to just panic here when it comes off the tape, and that's how good it. Look at that. He took a Bugs Bunny 2 swings and then finished with the third there. That was nice.
Second serve.
Oh, hello, delicate.
Oh, that was
1-0-2.
just not fair.
No.
Side out.
Well, she made it look easy just to get a dropper that tight to the net. It's beautiful.
0-1-1. Second serve.
Riley wisely lets that one go.
0-1-2.
Riley tries to return the favor, can't get it over.
And then took it out on the Selkirk net there a little bit.
1-1-2.
It was that or the guaranteed rate sign. Also got a little friendly fire.
Yep.
Side out.
Now Ben into the net. By the way, that 1-0 lead that
1-1-1.
that Parenteau and Newman had, that matched a 1-0 lead they had in game
Second
1.
serve.
That was the only previous lead that they've had in this match.
Yeah, and they
1-1-2.
they can't even get to the kitchen line here. The thirds are high. They're missing them. That's a transition ball that Catherine's so good in that area she usually makes.
Well, Riley able to get them back in front.
2-1-2.
John's putting that one away.
One, 2-1.
Annalee taking it right to Riley.
And it stays in on the reply.
Yeah, that's the big difference. You do not see a lot of women in mixed doubles attacking the man, and Annalee will attack anybody.
Yeah, not consistently. I think the ladies have proven that you need to do that on occasion, but she doesn't care at all day long. And it helps to have the best player in the world to her side as well. Because that gives you freedom to maybe make a 50-50 choice that isn't perfect, because he'll be there to help clean it up. But it's willingness, trust, and then the confidence, and she's got it oozing through her veins.
Riley kind of fooled Ben a little bit there.
Now, if she wants to go at Riley with a dink, that ball has to bounce, or Ben's going to be like, you know, this is not what we agreed to. So that's the precision that's harder to see at home, where if Catherine hits that dink just a little too far, Ben can get in there. He's got the lateral quickness.
Side out.
Whereas Annalee straight up, a lot less room to bounce that, because you don't have that flight of the ball going cross court.
Point.
Ben, another shot he'd like to have back into the net.
He got his feet a little tied up there and then had to run around him at the end.
Both Annalie and Ben would love to end this thing in 3. They both still have singles matches to follow this. And Ben ends it with the backhand.
Three, 4-2. Point.
Couple errors here have gotten Parenteau and Newman even here.
This has been their best game of the match, no question, and now they've got a lead.
You know, I think it's time for Riley to just go. I mean, empty the tank with any ball that he thinks he can attack. Just got to be in the right place.
He attacks one there.
Side out.
But the side out will get it back over to Ben and Annalie.
4-5-1.
And then Ben and Ernie.
Actually, it's a dead ball. You hit the post. But second serve.
Well, there you go. Howard Hepworth right on it.
4-5-2.
So moves to the second serve.
Yeah, caught the post with his left foot there, and that is the fault call.
But back to live action. Annalie doesn't care.
No. All right, fine. Foot fault. And when you are thrusting forward, you got to throw those anti-lock brakes on quickly so your momentum doesn't take you in. Because even if you hit the ball behind the line and your momentum carries you in, that is a fault.
Well-placed return there by Catherine.
5-5-1.
Oh, that one was up way too high. Annalie had time to even think about it.
Yeah, Riley went for his elbows out trickery with the two-hander and hit the top of the tape, and that's just not going to be a good result.
Point.
Ben probably thinking, maybe I should have let Annalie have that one.
Yeah, he had an idea based on the high third he got to put a combo together, but didn't work out.
Point.
Well, Waters and Parenteau now with their biggest lead that they've had in this match.
7-5-2.
Good job by Catherine of making Ben hit a ball on the full stretch.
Riley finally into the net. There was a whole lot of body movement there without the ball getting hit.
Double lefty in the middle of that.
Ben going at Catherine. Gets it back to a 1-point game.
Yeah, so she's sliding to only have the backhand, but it's just tough to keep resetting that when you're just under siege.
Riley goes for the ATP. Annalie was ready, but ultimately, Catherine and Riley win that rally.
6-7-2.
Yeah, that hook from Ben went way wide. So Annalie was ready, but Catherine in the proper position as well. And then a cheap one. Riley's hoping somebody maybe saw something different than what we all saw, and that was an outball.
Catherine attacking Ben right there.
Yeah, keeping him honest again. As long as she goes down the line and it can bounce or catch him in an awkward spot, which could actually be high, it just can't go right at paddle height.
Second serve.
Annalie quickly moves it to the second server.
7-7-2. Point.
The return long, so Newman and Parenteau back in front. Need to keep this momentum going.
Point.
And indeed they do. Now 9-7.
Great save with the backside of the paddle to the right side of the body by Newman in the middle of that exchange.
Ben goes for the Ernie as Riley was in a position that could be exploited, but it's not able to get the result they wanted.
And Anna Leigh Waters has called timeout.
Sunday, as the #1 seeded team of Waters and Johns facing a game point, and they're able to force a side out that will out of the timeout. So still alive here at 7-10.
7-10-1.
It looked like it was wide, and Ben does pick it up. So make it 8-10.
8-10-1.
Ben and Anna Leigh coming out of that timeout with a little bit more focus, perhaps. Ben puts it up high, and Catherine hits it out. So 9-10.
Yeah, if you're going to slide to your backhand and then you want to hit it, it's hard to keep that in because you swing across your body and the ball's going to follow that path.
Oh, nice shot by Catherine right there.
But if you are in the middle of the court with the two-y, you can smoke it and take a full swing and not worry about the sideline. Nice job by Catherine.
Ben unable to catch up to it. So we'll get game point #2 for Newman and Parenteau. Ben able to tee off on that one. Game point #3.
10-9-2.
Dave, I have a feeling if they don't get this one, I don't know if they're going to get a game point #4.
You are probably right.
They won't need it, though. Catherine closes it out. All right. We got a match. Parenteau and Newman get one back. Game 4 from Orlando coming your way after this quick timeout.
And had one of the best comebacks in Pro-Am pickleball history, down 12-1 in a game to 15. So we got a game 4, though, here, Dave.
Rob can play a little bit.
Yes, he can.
As can Danny Duncan.
Yes.
Who actually played in this tournament at the 4-0 level, I was told. And yes, we do, speaking of 4, have a game 4.
Point.
Much to the delight of Newman and Parenteau.
Yeah, that switch to put Riley over to the left side of the court has been a big part of this, plus him amping up his offense.
Ben and Anna Leigh throwing everything they can at Newman and Parenteau, and finally do break through.
You can see Catherine gets her paddle down whenever she's trying to defend, but sometimes it's just too much. When the ball's up, your paddle's got to go down.
Riley skies and puts one away.
0-1-2.
Yeah, Anna Leigh's getting balls she likes, but she's hitting them hard cross court into the Parenteau backhand.
Ben getting some balls he's liking right now, but not able to put any of them away. Goes for the Ernie. And then Anna Leigh is long.
Two great defensive players, and plus you're staring into the sun on the side that Ben and Anna Leigh are on. That's tougher to hit a clean overhead.
A two-handed backhand by Leigh right there down the line. Riley couldn't do anything with it.
1-0-2.
Ben finally wins the firefight.
Look at Catherine Parenteau play defense. It's outrageous, the ball she makes people hit. 14 winners against her.
Oh, a tweener by Waters to keep that alive, and then Ben finishes it off. What an exchange. Wow.
1-1-1. Second serve.
Ben into the net. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and then,
1-1-2.
then you have a third into the net. Let's keep that energy going up here.
Riley trying to throw everything at Waters and Johns, and they're taking it all now. Ben finally able to win it.
Yeah, and Riley's a little frustrated because he's one of the best yellers of out to his partners. Saw one that was going deep. Parenteau couldn't get her paddle out of the way. That was middle of that particular rally.
2-1-2.
Also got to be frustrating for Riley, and you're throwing everything you got at them, and they're just sending it right back. And Leigh comes in to take it. And Ben comes in to finish it.
Yeah, and this is the positioning that they started game number one in, with Riley Newman on the right, because they don't want to get caught on the exchange of sides. And it had a very similar feel to how points worked in game one, where Leigh and Ben were in control.
Well, it's a lot of fun right now, too, following his men's doubles victory, suffering from Parkinson's, and watches all of Ben's matches on television. Thanks so much for watching, and obviously I'm sure you're quite pleased to see your nephew doing so well.
Yeah, that timeout was for hydration and fitness as much as anything, and then the power and pace comes right back after it.
Point.
And then some footwork problems again with Riley on the right. It has not been nearly as clean as when Riley's on the left, so I think they need to just accept that it's going to be harder to get to the kitchen with the return. Just hit a better return and get up there. You got to do it. They'll switch this.
Riley had one that he could do something with finally, and he puts it away to force the side out.
Yeah, because Leigh just can't put a half-pace ball into that backhand of Riley Newman. I mean, that's no-go zone.
Oh, Ben did everything there. He tried to win it a couple of hits earlier, and Riley was able to catch up to it, but Ben finally does crack through.
1-5-2.
Yeah, just a ton of lefty. I guarantee you Gamma's not paying him extra to hit balls with his left hand today, but he's put a bunch in play left-handed.
Ben finally gets Catherine involved. Riley an ATP, and it ends up being a good decision.
He is so good at that. You have to let this ball travel. If you panic and hit it now, you don't have the angle. He waits till it's just an inch above the ground and smokes a winner. That's great, smart, crafty ATP from Riley Newman.
Does just get back over. And 2 straight points now for Newman and Parenteau.
Again, Catherine staring down Ben Johns and winning that exchange.
5-2. Point.
That looked awfully close, but they do call it out, and no
4-5-2.
protest from Ben and Annalee.
Yeah, a little too much slice on that one instead of getting on top of it.
And that ends up tagging Annalee off the net. So how about 4 straight points now for Catherine and Riley?
Got to the side that they like here after a run when they switched and they were playing a ton of defense. Back on the offensive.
Side out.
Catherine knew that one was short the second she hit it.
Yeah, good run there, though. Tried to will it over. So can Ben and Annalee get back to their game, which they were getting some short returns and driving it. Annalee was running around a little bit.
Ben and Annalee finally win that exchange to go back in front.
Yep. We're just going to swing as hard as we can, all 4 of us.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be played?
I love it. I love it. The fans love it. Floor is lava. Let's go.
And it continues. And that time Riley comes out victorious.
6-5-2. Side out.
Misfire by Annalee.
Yeah, so just not quite as precise in these last 2 games as they were in the first one for sure, and the second one. And a lot of that has to do with the threat of Riley Newman.
Second serve.
Well, Ben able to force it to the second serve here.
And that woman right there just playing obscenely good defense.
Side out.
Well, that one she could not catch up to. So 6-5-1 back over to Waters and Johns.
Point.
And make it 7-5.
In these cross-court dinkage stages with the ladies, if
7-5-1.
one leaves it up even half a foot too big, it's going to set off Ben or Riley teeing off.
Great defense by Annalee there.
Second serve.
Finally, Riley wins one that Ben can't catch up to.
Yeah, that's how good these guys' hands are, because that ball right there off the tape usually creates an error because you can't get your paddle readjusted. But Riley up to the task. Same guy misses a return.
Yeah, that puts Ben and Annalee 3 points away.
Side out.
The side out keeps Riley and Catherine in it.
5-8-1.
So they figured out, yes, I want to be on the left, says Riley.
with authority puts that away.
Beautiful backhand roll at the feet. You know, pickleball, we're on Tennis Channel. Tennis Channel's a one-shot winner game. Pickleball's 2, 3, 4. We've seen 7 today. You always have to be ready and expect the ball to come back.
Costly mistake
Very
there.
Costly.
Ben and Annalie unable to get up to the kitchen. Now they finally do. Oh, Annalie had Riley off the court a little bit and exploits the advantage.
What a great read by Leigh right there as she gets those feet around the edge of the corner and goes with a backhand Ernie on that side, and the gamma paddle hitting the ground means they need a timeout.
At 9-5, that's their final timeout. Back to Orlando after this quick
Best
break.
players, great energy on court.
Weather's pretty good too, Dave Fleming.
Incredible.
Second serve.
Yes, our replay official to my right had 6 feet of snow in his front yard up in western New York.
So 9-5-2. Yeah, the western New York snow.
It's no joke.
I'm not missing any upstate. I'm from Syracuse. Our replay officials from Buffalo. I'm not missing that snow. But kudos to those people who are able to dig their way out of such stuff.
Second serve.
That's going to be long.
Yeah, got married in Rochester, so I'm familiar. So thanks to everybody watching across the country on Tennis Channel.
Shout out Nick Tahoe, garbage plate.
Side out.
For sure.
Side out gets it back.
And that's a killer. You stop him at 9, you call timeout, you get it back, and you don't even get to the kitchen line. Couple of sloppy errors there. That's not the antidote to a 2 points from a gold medal point right here.
Ben puts that away, and that will take us to championship point.
10-5-1.
Oh my.
All right, championship point number 2.
Let's blame the airline. Why not? We blame the paddle and the ball. Why not the airline?
Side out.
And then Ben unable to get it over the net, so still alive, our Parenteau and Newman.
Second serve.
3 really sloppy service points in a row for this duo.
They've gone 8 straight serves without scoring a point. Make it 9 straight. And now we got championship point number 3.
Yeah, that's when you have to have your best thirds, your most precision, to get to the kitchen line and make them earn a victory, and they're not doing it now.
And that'll do it. The #1 ranked team on the planet, Waters and Johns. They needed 4 games, but in the end,